Criminal defense attorney and Fox News contributor Donna Rotunno joins me now. Great to see you, Donna. So, there's so many salacious details in the Diddy trial, even for those of us who got off the train at the buckets of baby oil and haven't paid attention to it since. It's a little bit kind of overwhelming to find out that none of the more serious charges stuck. Did the prosecution basically botch this, or did the defense just do a spectacular job of defending him?
Well, I think that there's a little bit of both. First of all, you have a prosecution that I think was overzealous. I think it was overcharged. And I think anytime you're asking a jury to do gymnastics to determine whether or not someone should be convicted of crimes, you're in a position where you're risking and not guilty. I also think had they not charged Rico, maybe the trafficking would have had a different result. But I think the charging of Rico really throws juries off. Yeah, I really do, and I don't think that it fit here. I really don't think it fit, and they were asking them to make it fit, and you cannot put a square in a round peg. So I think that's what happened. So I do think that he may have been facing more harsh penalties had they left that charge out.
Well, it's true in any kind of storytelling, whether it's in a courtroom or you're in the news business or you're trying to get yourself out of trouble. A simpler story is always better. One question, and this may be really a stupid question, but one of the things that has always kind of shocked me is that video of Diddy beating the ever-living tar out of his girlfriend in the hotel outside the elevators. Will he ever face charges for that? I mean, you should go to jail for that right there.
Yeah, that video is the most damaging, and I think that video is the reason if I was representing him, I probably wouldn't come out on the courtroom steps and praise him for being a wonderful guy.
Yeah.
It's one thing to be found not guilty of charges. It's another thing to have, an entire team of people talking about how fabulous he is. I think the evidence shows otherwise. I think when you're looking at that video, the problem is it's beyond the statute of limitations for any state court for that type of a charge. So he will not face charges on that beating that we saw in that horrible video.
But it's that's great to know, but it's also such a fine point because the whole time his defense attorneys were talking about what a wonderful guy he was and how grateful they were to get to work next to him. That video kept playing over and over again in my head. You're out in Idaho right now, so I just have to switch gears and ask you a quick question about this. Are you surprised by the outcome of this guilty verdict today? Or guilty plea?
I am surprised. I am surprised. I'm surprised by the quick nature of the way the whole thing ended up playing out. I think the fact that we found out on Monday that this was happening and now here we are, I do think, and I actually agree with Nancy Grace about the fact that sending a letter to families and letting them know this was happening is really not the way these things should happen in any routine criminal case where you have a victim. I mean, a robbery case, you should be in touch with the victim and talking to them. So the fact that we have a case of this magnitude and they were not consulted. I mean, yeah, they don't get to make the decision, but the fact that they were not consulted is just really beyond the pale.
They were, after all, the victims, so you'd think so. Donna, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.